Hey, everybody. Good morning and welcome to another Awaken Your Relationships. Why? Because in this coronavirus, economic, political environment, what we've got going on is that domestic violence is up 60%. And I'm the money chick, and the money is the result of everything else. Like people spend their lifetimes building up their wealth, and then because they didn't work on their relationships, then all of a sudden they're splitting it in half because their relationship was not tended to in that period of time because we work things out or we act them out. And so Rita and I are here to help you get to that next right step for you in your life.
Hi. So thanks for having me on. I did a 7-day challenge last week, and it felt like it was so perfectly timed because of all of the distress that's going on in the world. Because you're empathic, I'm empathic, and most of the women who are watching this are probably pretty empathic. And we have been feeling the anxiety and the level of tension going up. And many women haven't known where it's come from. They're like, I don't know why I feel anxious. I don't know why I feel tense.
So
and I've been trying to remind them that they're feeling a collective emotion.
Right. Like what's yours and what's not yours.
Right. And you can't, but when an emotion, it can be almost like a tidal wave when you're empathic. You can see the tidal wave coming and you really want to run because you know it's going to crash over you and make you feel horrible, and
right.
And you know it's not yours, but that doesn't mean that you still don't feel it.
Right, exactly.
Just because you didn't cause the tidal wave doesn't mean that you don't suffer the effects of the tidal wave.
Well, it's like I was in the Bahamas from at the end of the month and beginning of this month, and it was interesting going from an island then back into Chicago. I could physically feel the collective difference, and it was massive. Like it was like you felt it the minute you landed at O'Hare Airport. It was like, oh, like all the fear, all the emotions just spewing everywhere. It's like I can't go into restaurants. I have to wear a mask. I have to, like all these things where it's, just makes people, they're stuck in their stuff. And anything that's unresolved, it's like something that's just like a zit that's causing everybody to pop emotionally.
Well, and they are, and they're spewing, all of their infection on everybody else. And the people who feel it the most are the empathic women.
Right.
Because we're sensitive. And so if anybody's feeling stressed out more than normal, if anybody's getting tired of, you've been saying you've had to set boundaries all week with people. I've been having to set strong boundaries with people because there's an energy going on. And so last week it felt like divine intervention that I was doing the 7-day challenge, because the whole purpose of the challenge was to come out on the other side more healed, to come out on the other side, not with information, but with an actual feeling of feeling lighter, having more clarity, more understanding. And so we had a really neat sort of format. And the format was that I brought thought leaders and healers on, and you were one of them. We, directed them to this live stream. And we had great conversations like you and I do. And the rule was, tell me what's going on in your life, share what's going on. Let's go down these rabbit holes. Yep. And if there's tension, if we feel the tension rise, if I feel it rise in my body, it usually means that other people are too. And so we're going to pause and we're going to do something about it, because there's so many tools, there's so many things that you can do to start changing how your body feels that people don't know about. And so this is going to be like a lab demo,
Exactly. Right.
Yep. This is how you handle your emotions when they come up around sensitive topics or when you feel anxious or upset. So everybody can watch us. Yes, exactly. So everybody can watch us. And when we stop and do something to calm ourselves down and get ourselves level again, I suggest you do the same thing. Because if we're feeling it, it means everybody's feeling it. And we can always do with calming ourselves down, all the time. And if you think it's not possible, this isn't a mystical idea. This is an idea based on how the nervous system works. When we feel stressed, it's because we're in the wrong part of our nervous system. We're in the wrong nervous system.
Right.
And we can
Right.
physically have our body flip over to feeling safe and calm and centered again.
Right.
But we may have a physical reaction because
Right.
the body now has to get rid of all that stress. So, you know, shaking, crying,
I
peeing,
keep
sweating.
saying that that's actually, and how it's so tied to the rest of our lives. I keep saying, you know, that the reason I physically in the past have not been able to lose the weight was because I've realized it's the cortisol shooting through my system from stress. Cause, you know, I was thinking back, like at the beginning of coronavirus, a lot of people said that they gained weight. I actually lost weight, and I lost 40 pounds last spring. And I know, right? And it was interesting. And I didn't have access to a gym. But you know what I was doing? I was just walking. I got my 10,000 steps in a day, and I made sure I just kept walking around my house. I would take something from this side to this side, but every day I hit my 10,000 steps. So it was very like calm and cool, and I was eating from home, so I wasn't putting a bunch of acidic foods in my bodies. They were more alkaline because I was eating from home. And I'm like, it's that cortisol that when we're in that wrong, you know, in the nervous system side, that causes the cortisol to pump through. That's when I've realized, well, you can't release the stuff that you're holding on to if the cortisol is pumping through your system.
Yes, exactly. So when you are highly stimulated and you have a negative perception of what's going on, your body releases cortisol to protect itself, go into fight or flight. Yep. You can still have a high level of arousal. And if we've got a more positive outlook about it, then your body's able to process through the emotion, get through whatever's going on. And it's a positive thing. We're actually able to achieve on a very high level. Right. So it's not about becoming numb. It's about learning how to manage your emotional energies so that they serve you instead of making you feel trapped and stuck and spinning in place. So you said you had to set a lot of boundaries this week. What were some of the boundaries you had to set?
You know, I feel like I was saying, I'm exhausted from the place of holding boundaries, because everybody is, and I've got this happening from not only my kids' level, but my ex-husband, from current relationships that I have, to employees and clients. So I'm finding that because everybody is having emotional disconnects on some levels because of what everything externally is going on that's creating turmoil inside for people, there's just like, there's acting out. And so
okay, we're going to pause and we're going to have everybody regulate together. Okay. You don't even need to know why. Okay, we're going to stroke our arms. We're going to do havening, and all you have to do, quick, give me a number 0 to 10 on the intensity.
10.
Great. Okay, everybody give a number. So give it a number, and then now we're going to stroke our arms, called havening, 20 times. Just do it. Don't even argue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, give it another number, 0 to 10 intensity.
Oh, I'm like a 3.
Right, and because your body's also been getting used to this. You know, it's getting used to, you're getting muscle memory of how to go from feeling stressed to how to go. I can do it just by visualizing it. If I'm laying in bed, I can imagine stroking my arms 20 times, and it still is very effective.
Totally.
Okay, so boundaries you were setting this week.
Yeah. So just all over the place, from you know, I pretty much had every aspect of my world kind of come up from
For everybody, this has been crazy
right. Yeah,
energetically.
it's like some switch flipped like 10 days ago, and it's like
Yep.
crazy just came out everywhere.
Our
And
emotions affect the magnetic field around the world, and our collective emotions affect them in a big way. We're all feeling it.
yep. So what I realized is that in that process of holding boundaries, so we're a divorced family, right? So we are still trying to figure out how to co-parent, and it's not been super effective, to where now my children are having to learn tools, tips and tools. The good news is we had an experience last August where the courts, forced my kids to go to therapy. It's now required. It's a court order. That is
Okay, we're going to
best.
pause. We're going to I know, it's awful, isn't it? I cut off everybody's stories, but that's because we're not going into the stories. We're resolving the stories.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want you to talk. I want you to take your thumb and your ring finger, and we're going to do what are called TAT points. And your thumb and your ring finger, they go right on the inside of your eyebrows. You can use either hand, and rest your fingers in the middle of your forehead, and take the other hand and put it on the back of your head. Okay, and I'm going to count to 25, and we're just going to hold it till then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, how you feeling?
It's funny, I was able to take a really deep breath there at the end. Like a really,
Yes.
like, I could feel it deep.
Yes, yeah, because I can feel when your energy starts to raise, and even though it's annoying that I keep cutting off your story. But what we do is, at the height of our drama, at the height of our internal tension, if we can do something physical that physically flips the switch in our brain from one nervous
Right.
system to the other, we're able to let go of that tension, step over it, and move forward.
Yep.
Instead of get trapped in the emotion.
Yep,
Okay.
totally.
So boundaries in all areas of your life.
Yeah. So what happened last August is my kids then court ordered was required to go to therapy. And so you've got different gamuts. One kid thinks that they're done with therapy and they've mastered it all. You've got another kid that's like, why are you still forcing me to go here? Because I don't want to be here because he doesn't want to talk at all. And then you've got the other one going, Mom, it feels really great to talk to somebody.
Oh.
And you got the other one that's just like, so as well as their dad is trying to get them out of therapy because he doesn't want to pay the bill anymore.
Okay, so we're going to pause. Do you have a little, because I can feel that's an old issue. Okay, so.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. Go ahead. You can cut me off. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to cut you off and heal you.
Yeah,
you don't have to
right.
figure it out. Okay, so move your stuff out of the way.
Say that again. I don't have to figure it out. That's the piece.
Yeah.
Like for those of you who are watching, you don't have to, like, I'm a problem solver and I have tried to figure this out mentally, but it's not. It's like, if you do this is what I really want all of you who are watching to hear. If you really, really, really do your work, what happens here is that if you focus on you and fix you, everything around you then shifts. It's not about you going externally to do something, which I have done my entire life. This is about, so Rita interrupting me here in this process heals it within me, which then changes all the stuff, because people will show up in my world differently because I'm showing up differently. So I want to just illustrate that to people, because that's a big flip and a big difference to how most of us operate in the world.
Yes, we get trapped in our stories. We waste our lives obsessing about these stories that we've created, not knowing how to stop feeling stressed out. And I'm teaching everybody how to do this. So these are the highest level trauma tools for how we actually let go of our past, heal, forgive. And so when we stop, it's not that I'm being rude, it's that I'm loving Julie at the highest level I can by not encouraging her to continue with a story that just brings her sorrow and pain. Instead, let's take care of it so she can move forward, you know? Although sometimes the stories are a lot of fun, so I like to hear them. Okay, so
well, and you know, it's interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
So we all hook to stories, right? I'm finding myself when I stop the story, what the hell do you talk about?
More interesting things. Yeah, you start talking about art and music, and you start talking about ideas and changing the world.
But so many of us are just, all we talk about it is stories, and we repeat those stories over and over and over and over again.
What a waste.
You have to remember, we're energizing more of that as we continue to tell the stories. And women are notorious for this.
Yeah, and I have better things to do.
You're calling up so-and-so, you're needle pointing, telling all your stories.
Right. And it just goes round and round, and nobody wants to hear your sad story anymore, not even you.
Right.
So, so stand up. You need a little bit of space.
Okay,
we're going to do a timeline activity because this is an old story. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to think of something that's going to happen tomorrow. And when you think about it, kind of pay attention to where your eyes go. Got it?
It's so, no, because it's so funny.
Okay.
You said that and my whole brain went.
Are you going to eat breakfast tomorrow?
Yes.
What are you going to eat for breakfast? Think about it and notice where your eyes go.
They go up and to the right.
Okay, good. So kind of point up to the right so that you've got a good idea where it is. Okay, so what did you have for breakfast this morning? And watch where your eyes go.
They didn't really do anything.
Okay, your eyes kind of stay the same.
Went down a little bit.
Okay, you can put your hand down if you want. That's just for your reference. What did you have for breakfast yesterday?
Wow, my brain is blank. This must be a really big healing because I'm short-circuiting in my brain.
Yes. It shows the blocks you're having in your brain around stuff, around being integrated. You're not integrated right now. Okay, what did you have for breakfast yesterday morning?
An apple and nuts, almonds.
Okay, which way did your eyes go?
I went that way.
Which is what? To the left?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had one that kind of went up into the, and the other one was kind of like
a V.
Kind of like a V?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to assume then that it went a little bit behind you.
Okay.
As the past. Okay. So I want you to imagine a rope or a bar.
Okay, so can I explain this?
Yeah.
So I always look at things at your past, your present moment, your future. I look at it as a linear line, not like a behind. So to match what it is that you just said, I'm getting goosebumps all over my body. Oh wow, that's a big one.
This is a big healing. This is a big healing we're going to go through. We haven't even done the exercise yet.
You guys, this is live. We did not practice this. This is a good one for you to see.
I had to do this one. The first time I did this one, I got chills up and down my spine, and I realized I needed to do it a few more times. And so I did it in the shower and I did it in the bedroom, like a few more times over the next 24 hours. And I had a major shift in my life in how I showed up to things because we're going to be putting down your timeline.
Yeah. So that's why it went this way for my past and this way for my future. Cause I understand. Literally.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Cause that's how you see it. Okay. So imagine this linear line and it's kind of resting on your shoulders. A bar or a rope or a pole or something. It could be pink or anything you want. All right, pick up this timeline, pick it up, and I want you to put it on the ground in front of you.
Okay.
Okay, now I want you to take one step over it, but like with both feet, as if you're taking a step over it, like you'd step over a broom.
Okay.
Okay. All right, now I want you to haven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, good, 19, and 20. Okay, now I want you to take another step forward. It can be as small or as big as you want. There you go, good. All right, and this time I want you to TAT, thumb, ring finger, fingers in the middle of your forehead, the other one on the back of your head. These are acupressure points. They stand for Tapas Acupressure Technique.
Yep.
Okay, we're just gonna hold that. I'm gonna count to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, put your hands down. Now we're going to take a step back in the spot we were before, and let's Haven again. Okay. You never know what comes up, because we've been walking away from that timeline, haven't we? 2, that's scary. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, I want you to hold the points again, but this time I want you to talk to me about some of the tension or boundaries, what we were talking about before. Just continue a little bit more. Oh, with that timeline with your ex not wanting to pay for therapy and the whole shebang.
Yeah, well, that came up multiple times. He doesn't want to pay for the therapy. He doesn't want to pay for my daughter's dance class because I chose too expensive of classes, despite the fact that he gets 5 figures of alimony per month, tax-free.
Wow.
I know, right? It drives me crazy.
Oh my God.
What do you mean you won't pay for your daughter's dance classes? It drives
yeah, no kidding.
me nuts.
Good.
Yeah, so I just have to hold boundaries, and it's like, you know, but the piece that really came out this week in this boundary holding is just acceptance of who people are and don't get attached to anything with.
Yeah.
So hold the boundary and just accept that they're in whatever state they're in, because they're on their own journey.
Okay, so you can put your hands down. Now I want you to take that last step back over your timeline.
Yep.
I want you to pick it up. And I want you to put it back on your shoulders. Now, how does it feel?
I had all this pain in my shoulder when I did it the first time. Like I could barely pull my shoulder back.
Yeah.
And it's not even there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about the story you were telling yourself, the underlying story? Because your words were saying, and he's not doing this, and he's not doing that. And your energy was saying, I can't believe he did this to me. I can't believe that I let him do this to me. I can't believe that he's still doing this to me. You know, there was an underlying story you had to get rid of how you were being victimized.
I can't believe he's doing this to our kids. You know, that I've provided everything for him to live a great life.
Right.
And take care of our kids. And he's still not.
So you're sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how one of the ways we deal with sad. Let me get my camera back down. Okay.
So, and I do want to mention that one of the things that occurred, which was very interesting, when you had me do havening after stepping over the line, and I didn't do any of this, my right arm usually goes over my left. So this one's dominant.
Yeah.
But when you had me do it this time, my arms went like this. So it was something. And then when you had me do it again after I stepped back over the line, I went back to this way. And so what I heard intuitively was, it was the integration of my right and left brain.
Yes. Yes.
And that's why this one went over, because there was something on that piece that was not connected to this piece in my brain.
Yes.
And that process
Yes.
connected the brain.
Yes. And that's what we're doing. You know, I never believed this stuff for the longest time. I still learned about it and loved it. It was beautiful and metaphorical. You know, I was raised Catholic, so I love that stuff. But I didn't believe that it actually worked until they started to back it up with brain science and body-mind science. And so I became a convert of, this is how we heal the body, by getting the emotional tension and regulating ourselves. So you're sad that he's letting down your kids. So I want you to take your hand and just put it on your chest. Just the fact of you putting your hand on your chest draws your body's attention to your heart naturally. And when you pay attention to your heart, it starts to calm it down and it starts to regulate it, because your heart is kind of like the center of it all. And if you can get your heart regulated, you can usually get your brain and the rest of your body working together. And something as simple as just putting your hand on your heart starts that process. Okay, now I want you to think of a memory or an experience that makes you happy or you're grateful for. Mine is, I love the feeling of sun on my face. And that makes me feel joy immediately.
Mine's a walk on the beach.
Great. So hang out in that joy for a few seconds. Now I want you to radiate it out, whatever that means to you.
Radiate it what?
Radiate it out, like you're radiating it out into the world or the universe.
So I'm starting to shake. My
Good.
hand is starting to shake.
Good. That's the physical response of your body letting go of all that old stress and fear and anxiety and disappointment and sadness, which might not even all be from your ex-husband. It probably comes from stuff from a long time ago, or even from your parents or your grandparents.
Right.
Okay, where are you at now with your story, with what you're thinking?
I'm not, well, I wasn't really thinking about it anymore.
Yeah, because you feel, yes, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. Your ex is going to do what he does, and you can either spend your time feeling hijacked and angry and hurt and frustrated and spend your life doing that, which is fine, but it sure as hell isn't any fun. Or you can take 15 minutes, regulate yourself, and sometimes it only takes 30 seconds. Do one of these tools, do multiples of these tools, and you release that, and you're like, why am I even worried about this? I have better things to do with my life. It's a shift.
Right. That's true. I agree.
Great. So was there anybody else you were mad at?
Yeah, we had a really big family issue this week. You know, I've talked about it before, that there was a Catholic priest that affected many of us in our family. And some people in my family chose to repeat that pattern from the priest. And
is that new information, or is it?
That is information that's only come out in the last year.
Got it. It sounded new,
but this week is the week that the police department arrested that person.
Was it because of you, or was it because of someone else?
It was somebody else.
Yeah.
So, but here's what the piece for me was. You know, Julie's the fix-it person, right? Julie likes to fix everything. It was interesting for me that I needed to stay out of it and allow it to hold its process, because I know I was the catalyst. I was the first person in the family to shine light that the Catholic priest sexually molested me when I was 5 years old.
You were very
I was the
courageous.
first person to do that.
Very courageous.
It's opened up a can of worms in my family because
it also gave other people permission to finally unpack their trauma and
correct.
heal.
Yep.
So
And I'm
good for
super
you.
clear in the ayahuasca ceremonies that I was doing with the shamans. I got a really clear hit that all of us that were affected in my family, we all need to heal, and we need to hold healthy boundaries for each other so that we all can heal. And that's going to show up in different ways for different ones of us, because I believe our soul agreements were different of how we were going to help each other get through that. So it was really interesting in holding those boundaries this week. It was just me holding space to really, the boundaries were that I had to let them just sit in their stuff, that it wasn't my stuff to sit in and take over it and fix it.
Yeah.
It was like,
that must have been hard.
that was really hard. Like my nervous system was completely hijacked.
Okay, so we're going to give you another tool. You ready?
Yep.
I want you to take one or two fingers of your hand or whatever, and I want you to tap your arm at the same speed as your anxiety. So match it to your anxiety, match it to your feeling. Got it?
Yep.
Now I want you to start to slow it down. Slow it down a little more. Keep slowing it down. And slow it down until you stop.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I feel very grounded.
That's what this stuff does. I mean, on the one hand, you think, wait, but unicorns didn't come flying through the sky and confetti didn't fall from the ceiling.
Right.
But what you get is the ability to breathe. You get grounded. You're able to make good decisions. You see through the muck. You don't make things worse for yourself. You don't make choices that could, when I learned that if I broke the glass, I was the one who had to clean it up because it was my house, and then I had to buy new glass. I mean, you stop breaking the glass. You start realizing you're not negatively affecting anybody but you, really.
Right.
And so you have to stop hurting yourself and letting yourself let these things go. And that's what these tools are for.
Right. And so it's interesting to me, as all of this stuff has come up, it's also trusting that when you hold these boundaries, that others will find their way. Because I know for me in relationships, it's the fear piece that actually aids to me not holding the boundaries, because on some level, it's wired in me that I know better, that I could do it better, and I can figure it out for them. And I have packed it all on my shoulders all the years. I learned that from my parents. My parents have packed everything on their shoulders, and I know many of us sit in that position. We sit in that position of, we just take it on, whether it's our kids, our siblings, and it all showed up. It started in the houses that we grew up in, right? Not good or bad. And lots of healing happening. I always talk about that we are all connected like an energy grid. Like you're flying into Chicago at night and you see all the electric grid, right? And when you raise yourself up and hold boundaries, to your point earlier, when it came to the Catholic priest sexually molesting multiple people in my family, when I cracked that open, it gave the opportunity for other people to heal too. And we're just in the midst of that journey. That's what's happening. We're in the midst of that journey. And so that's what earlier we were talking about, how if you work on you, then everybody else can rise as well.
Yes,
But we
because
can't do it
they
when we're
learn.
taking our projection and our non-boundary holding and our now,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is good. It is really, really good. And I have people, even Doreen, who's watching this right now, just said, "Oh, God bless your family." Yes, bless your family. And it's like, yeah, thank you for that. But here's the beauty is that this is what's healing. Like, I've been given a personality to talk about it, because how many people are burying that a Catholic priest sexually molested somebody in their family?
Yeah, and they don't even know. They just know that they've always been oversensitive most of their life, and they're the ones that, are dumpy and that everybody makes fun of, and
Right.
they're the ones who are dysfunctional and they can't get their life together and they're a hot mess. That's what everybody's saying,
Right.
because what we do when I help you, or you help yourself get into a good space, is you let go of all of the emotions around it, and you have clear sight. You
Yeah.
have the
Right.
vision of an eagle, and you
Right.
can make decisions and see, oh, this is just what they're struggling with now. That's okay. Okay, yeah, they're going to be okay. Oh, this is what they're struggling with. Oh, all right. It gives you a sense of peace,
Right. Right. There's no doubt. And we all
and you
deserve
can
that.
let things unfold. Yeah, and you can let things unfold instead of meddling, but you're meddling with blinders on, so you don't really see what's going on, so you're just going to make things worse.
Mhm.
So you have to get clarity around it, and then you can make good decisions.
Right. And you're so much happier. Like, I can tell you, like, people are like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you're divorced." I'm like, "No, I'm freaking happy as all get out." I'm like, "This is actually really great." And then, my 7-year old's like, "What? Mom, I want my family together." And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Honey, you have no idea. This is so much greater." And we just have to figure it out post divorce. And we are. And we are. And you
Mhm.
know what? There'll be building blocks and tools that will be then, and I'm just grateful, that, like, I'm in a current relationship, and I am super grateful for that relationship because of the fact that it's actually helping me with the tools to create, because he's got an amazing relationship with his ex-wife. And so it's like, it's a great example. Like, when you start doing your work, then other people and things come in your life to support you to get to that next place. And it's like
Mhm.
magic.
It is like magic, isn't it? I spent
Mhm.
48 years feeling manipulated and controlled by my own nervous system. I would pee myself when I was nervous. I'd have digestive problems. My stomach would knot up. I had migraine headaches. I had tension in my shoulders all the time. I cracked teeth, from clenching my jaw. I had back
Yeah.
pain. I'd be dehydrated. My kidneys would have
It's
problems
funny how
because
our
they were
physical
working.
bodies react. I
Hmm.
wound up with all
Hmm.
these food sensitivities, and my gut was bloated out. And it's like,
Hmm.
I get really excited when I can poop every day.
Right, exactly. I had the worst digest. Every morning I would
TMI.
wake up. Yeah, every single day I struggled with that, and until I started to do these nervous system tools, I was going through the motions, and I was making progress, but it wasn't going very fast. I'd spent 16 years or whatever making progress, but it was slow. This is like a game changer. This is a magic game changer. And because what would have normally happened for somebody is they would have started talking about their ex-husband. They would start how he's a jerk, and the story would have gone on for the next 45 minutes. And, oh, that's too bad. I'm so sorry. That must be so hard. And nothing would have gotten resolved.
Right.
Whereas this way, we kept short circuiting your normal path, and you were able to get within 20, 25 minutes. Oh yeah, this isn't everybody's highest good. Oh yeah, I am doing all right. It was able to take you
Well, it
from
was those
the
things that
stress to the beta endorphins.
when I was working with you, when I first met you, I just remember, like, people were like, "You have to send gratitude to your ex." And I was like, "Yeah, you fucking
Yeah,
kidding
yeah,
me?" Like,
yeah,
I was
you
like, "Are
sent
you fucking kidding
gratitude.
me?" Like, do you
Yeah,
understand the assassination I was under? No
yes,
way. No way.
no.
And because I was doing this work, I remember the first day that I was sitting in meditation, and I go, "I am grateful for the 4 beautiful babies that that man gave me." And it was like it flipped a switch. And it was like boom. But it was because I got out of the story, because somebody has to change the story, him or me, for the next expansion level for it to go. And so I decided, and it's funny, like I laugh hysterically. He's like, I don't get along. I don't like any of your woo-woo stuff and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, uber Catholic. And I was like going, yeah, I'm dealing with Catholic priest stuff. I'm not really uber Catholic right now. I'm like, ugh.
Right.
But I agreed in my divorce decree to, but I agreed in my divorce decree to raise our kids Catholic while I'm dealing with my sexual molestation from a Catholic priest. And I'm like sitting there on, okay, whatever. But you know, it's funny, like, because I just had the space to like show gratitude, he's now found a different spiritual path for himself that has nothing to do with the Catholic Church. And it has nothing to do with my woo-woo stuff either. And it's really interesting how he's expanding, like what it allowed the space, that little piece of gratitude that I add every day for the 4 beautiful babies that I have from him, that it has caused all this positive expansion. And it's like an onion that we peel, right? And we just have to know that there's a deeper level, then a deeper level. Because right now I know it's super deep because I'm watching now my kids move out of the patterning that integrated into them from when we were married in the first few years after the divorce.
Yeah.
And so it's magic. It absolutely is magic. This work is magic. And for those of you, I go live on this stuff and let my freak flag fly. And I'm super authentic because I know that it can help millions of people to get to the next place in the relationships that they really, truly, truly their heart desires. Because I keep holding the vision of my ideal life from a relationship perspective, because that's where, you know, I've got money mastered. That's my mastery. The relationship piece is where I have been. That's where my stuff is acted out in. And so it's like, okay, we all have it. The question is what's yours? And we're here to support you guys to get you to this next right step. And again, I want to offer to everyone who's watching that if any of you want to work with Rita and I, we will be happy to have you come live with us here every Thursday at 9 a.m. Central. So let us know. Send me an email, julie@juliemurphy.com, and we are happy to pull you on. Happy to help. Any last couple words for people, Rita?
Well, yeah. So, you know, if you're interested in all of this sort of work, I've put it together in a 7-week program. And what the 7-week program does is it takes you out of being in that place of feeling stuck around your job because you've got a toxic boss, around your health. You just can't get something, you're healing from cancer, or you're struggling with, you know, more chronic pain, whether it's you're married to a narcissist or divorced from a narcissist. If you feel like your body keeps hijacking you and you just can't make any progress, and people are taking advantage of your time, and you can't set boundaries, and you don't speak up for yourself, and you just feel overwhelmed, we're doing a 7-week program, and in 7 weeks, you can get a really good foundation in these tools. You can get the support you need, because this isn't a piece of cake. Is you were in the middle of one of your mediations, and you were telling me about how you were havening, and your whole body was shaking in the middle of it.
Right?
This
It's
stuff,
crazy.
yeah,
Right.
this stuff is not, it's not easy, but it can be a lot of fun, becoming more authentic and speaking from your heart and being more assertive. So what this does is
can I just pause you there for 1 second?
Yeah.
I want people to hear that this can be fun.
Oh yeah.
Because for me, it was so heavy for so long, and I didn't know how to get myself out of it. I was the good girl. Julie did everything right, but it felt so heavy, like beyond heavy. Yeah. And to the point that I was exploding in bouts of rage every now and again. And I'm like, this is not me. I don't want to amplify whatever this is. And I had no idea what was underlying all that until I started to show up and do the work.
Yeah.
And honestly, it has been, I feel like I am a get out of jail. I feel like I got out of jail, my own jail, something that I created. That's the whole point. I created it. It has nothing to do with anybody else.
Yes.
And we choose whether to stay in jail or have freedom. Like, hence
It's
my
like
wings. That's what I call my.
unzipping that suit. We're yeah, we're unzipping that suit of who we were told we were supposed to be,
Ah,
the
right?
mask we're wearing, the tension we have. And it used to take lifetimes to process through these emotions in people's bodies.
Totally.
And now it takes months. I can in 7 weeks, I can help people in 7 weeks, and we work on a different area of their life as a close, loving community.
Yeah.
We work on every area of your life for 7 weeks. You get the support. And the idea isn't that you stay with me forever. The idea is that you should be seeing less and less of me during the 7 weeks because you don't need me as much. This
Right.
is about getting people to a place and graduating.
That's another part of society, right? Like, so I even think of from the finance world, there's all these systems that were set up before to hook you into the system, to keep paying, to keep working, to keep having to come back. Like, think about traditional therapy. It's like you're paying for 20 years, right? And right. I mean, it drives me crazy. I have people come to me from the finance world. They're like, well, how long do I have to pay this? I go, well, I hope within a 3-year period of time, you just want an annual check-in because we fixed your shit enough so that you're launching your life and you're good. And they're like, that's great. But we're so not used to that, right?
Yes.
We are
It's not a good economic model to have people
so
heal.
not used to it, right? And it's like, okay.
Right. The whole idea is get these tools installed, get the support you need as you start becoming more authentic and assertive, and as you start expressing yourself from your heart. Get some support through that process.
Yep.
And within 7 weeks, you'll have a good, solid foundation, and you'll be able to change your life if it hasn't already changed. I have women who come to me who are considering getting rid of a narcissist in their life because it's been horrible for 30 years, and within the span of 2 months, they're divorced on their own, and their life is the best it's ever been.
Yeah, you just have to have courage to take the next right step that makes your heart giggle.
And the confidence that it's going to turn out okay. And Julie and I can tell you point blank, this stuff works. It works for everybody. It's repeatable. You can do them at home in your bathroom. They work in 60 seconds or less. They work every single time to some degree. If you layer them, then they work more. And every time you use these tools, everything gets easier.
Yep. Totally agree.
This is a process of healing yourself.
Beautiful.
And if they want to join the program, it's starting the last week in January on that Monday. They should go to 𝑟itaHickmanCoaching.com/7-week. So 𝑟itaHickman.com/7-week. And if you do that, you'll find out.
Send it to me and I'll put it in the comments so people can have it.
Oh, great. Yeah. I'll do that. So because this is the only time it's going to be this cheap, because it's the first time that I'm doing it and I want to work out the bugs. So we're doing it like for $4.99. And then the next time we do it in 3 months. And then like in 3 months.
Oh, I'm charging you less money. So come on.
So come on, take advantage of the brilliance of this stuff and this what this group will be.
Well,
yeah,
Rita, you and I have helped
$2,000 in a few months.
You and I have helped individuals for years, and now it's time to heal millions.
Yes,
it's
millions.
time for us to heal millions.
You want to know what my dream is? My dream is to create to create foot soldiers, foot doctors on the ground that go out and teach their children and their families how to stay calm, how to rewind their trauma. So I want to teach the thought leaders and the coaches and the women who have influence, because they're going to go out and spread this understanding and these tools around the world so we can move the needle on mental health. So that's who I'm looking for. Women who aren't just thinking about themselves, but who are thinking about, how can I help my family heal? How can I help my community heal? How can I help my world heal?
Yep. Totally agree.
Thank you, Julie. What a wonderful opportunity.
It's beautiful. Well, thanks everybody. And we look forward to talking with you next Thursday, 11 a.m. Central or 9 a.m. Central. Mwah!
9 a.m. Central. Bye.
Bye.